Hello there and welcome back to another edition of Silly Car Showdown. Today we are taking a look at the Renault Clio EDC 200. This car was requested by MS8FF15 and yeah, it is the 4th generation of the Renault Clio. We don't have every generation of Renault Clio in this game. I believe we are actually missing the 2nd gen, unfortunately, the V6 version, but we do have this. Which is probably my least favourite of all of the Renault Clio generations, gotta be honest. Not a fan of the new Clio. It's a very weird looking car. It's quite hard to look at, actually, from some angles, and considering it's been out for years and years and years, I'm still not quite used to the way it looks, but there you go. Anyways, well, we are here to see what it's like to drive Sillified, so let's get on with that. Of course, being a Renault Clio, it is front-wheel drive, and it's staying front-wheel drive because we have to use the stock drivetrain. In terms of engine, we have only one. It's the Turbo Rally engine, and we are going to go for it because the standard engine can't make all that much power. Speaking of standard, we are leaving all of the aero as it is, because as part of this series, you are not allowed Forza Aero, and well, that's the only thing available for this car. Right, let's start building this up. Tyres, we're going to get 245s. Okay, that's going to be 245s all round. Not massively full of confidence, but I can't say I was having much confidence with this vehicle to begin with. That being said, it is modern, so that's good. Front-wheel drive cars have actually done relatively well on the Silly Car Showdown course so far, so it'll be interesting to see how the Clio does. I believe this is the most modern front-wheel drive car we've had, other than... oh wait, no, we have had the Sentra. The Sentra is newer than this. Although actually the Sentra and this, they don't quite share engines, but almost. Anyways, of course, as usual for the Turbo Rally, there's only a couple of upgrades here, including the Turbo, which is big, and the restrictors, and there we go. S1 862, 668 horsepower, 682 foot-pound torque, 2,312 pounds of weight, 5 seconds to 60, top speed of 212 miles per hour. That's one quick Clio, I do have to say. That's quite a weird sentence to say, actually. One quick Clio. There you go, tongue twister. Try saying that 5 times in a row. Anyways. Yeah. I haven't really got much to say about it. I can't say I'm instilled with confidence because it's the Renault Clio, but it might be okay. I mean, I don't know until we get out on the course. Speaking of which, let's get on with that. So here we are once again at our Edinburgh course, ready to set 5 laps with our Renault Clio to see how well it will do. Our current leader is the Ferrari FXK, which set a time of... it's a Renault Clio, that doesn't matter. This car is not beating that car. Yeah, I drove this around a little bit in free roam. I'm not expecting this car to beat much because handling wise, oh dear, is my way of reviewing this one. Essentially, the Renault Clio has 2 modes of attacking corners. It has the go straight on because it's front wheel drive. That's a new thing as well. Or it basically gets lots of lift off oversteer. So, yeah, this one is not going to be good. I mean, granted, it's a Renault Clio. I'm not really expecting a good handling car here, but yeah, this one could be a real interesting car to drive. I mean, in terms of what it could be, I don't know, the Acura RSX 151 413, the first ever front-wheel drive car we had, did make relatively similar power to this. And of course, that time was set quite a long time ago. I'm sure if we reran the RSX today, it probably would sit somewhere around the 150 to 149 area, but maybe that's something to look at another time. But for now, of course, we have our Clio EDC, which, yeah, with the Turbo Rally engine, for those of you who don't know, the Turbo Rally engine makes the single most amount of boost in the game, I believe. It makes somewhere, yeah, it makes 73.5 pounds of boost, which is an awful lot. Essentially, the Turbo Rally is a Ford Fiesta WRC engine, I believe, is where it sort of routes are, so... Yeah, 152,481, it's not bad. It might beat the RSX, but I'm not really expecting it to do much else. Anything else around the area, it is currently 0.2 seconds down on the Sentra, which is something. Another front-wheel drive car. The Civic RS 149,295, I don't think that's going to get touched, and I think that's the only front-wheel drive car I see sort of in this general vicinity. Our fastest is still the Limo, from what I remember, which was insane. Yeah, this really is... you can't really see it, particularly, but I assure you, the controller is just vibrating non-stop as soon as I hit about 5,000 RPMs, because the turbo spools up and the car cannot handle that. In terms of speed, it's pretty much exactly the same as everything we've had today, in that it's average. Yeah, I'm sorry for the fact that pretty much every car... would this scope in a week thing? I can't remember. Yes, I think it would. Yeah, I apologise, every car this week has been average when it comes to its straight line speed, but that's apparently the way this cookie has crumbled. We going down here for a little bit of a water slide ride. Yeah, she is not massively happy with this engine track combination, it has to be said. Again, I can't quite remember how this car handles stock. From what I remember, it's nothing spectacular, and we've just missed that completely. Nice. Yeah, this is, oh boy. To be fair, I don't think this would have gone much quick. I don't think this is going to go particularly quick. Yeah, it's not good. You know, compared to some of the stuff we've had... No, actually, no, never mind. It might be the worst front-wheel drive car I've driven so far. The Sentra was bad, but this... The problem with this is it's not so much the fact that it's front-wheel drive that's bothering me. It's the oversteer which is an issue, because... Yeah. If it wasn't for that, I could just glide it around corners. The problem is I can't do that, because if I take my foot off the throttle, it's just going to do that, where it sort of starts going round. And then you put the throttle down to get the front end to correct the rear end, and then you'll just end up getting chronic levels of understeer. It's kind of the way this driving the Clio seems to go, I'm afraid. It's not the most solid car in the world. Far from it. Trying to crash into a bin, that would be... Well, I mean, to be fair, that's probably where this car belongs, it has to be said. It is rubbish, this. It really is rubbish. But... I can't, again, I mean, I can't pretend like I was expecting anything other than crap, so... Yeah, actually, the speed through there is not bad. I will give it that much. It can hold a relatively tight line through that corner. I don't know if that's through sheer luck or what, but it can do that, so I'll give it that. Get some bonus points for that, I guess. Also, I've noticed the last gears are really long ratio. Like, everything else is pretty short, and then the last few gears seem to be pretty long. Which I'm not really complaining about, because the turbo, it sort of gives the turbo a bit of a break, which it desperately needs. Run down to the line, not going to be any quicker. Alright, attempt number 4. They're trying to set a good lap. It's got this and one more lap to go. That corner is the worst, I think. Because you sort of turn in, and then the rear end comes out, you try to catch it, and by the time you catch it, you're in that guy's shop window. It is just not good. It's very, very not very good at all. Again, hardly surprising, but it is something worth pointing out. It is naff. It is properly naff. Ooh, there we go. I'm starting to get used to it a little bit now, though. It's sort of a case of just relax your throttle foot a bit. You know, ease it on slowly. And you'll only get a slight amount of deft dealing on the steer. Not all of the deft dealing on the steer, which is for the most part, what this car seems to aim towards. But yeah, I mean, through here, I mean, you can get the power on, which is nice. Down the downhill section, the road hasn't caught me off guard yet down there, which is shocking, to be perfectly honest. But we try not to get the understeer carry the car wide. That would be very, very not good. As opposed to just not very good at all, which is what this car seems to be used for. Actually, that was alright. I'll give it that. The sort of oversteer helps out slightly there. As we rush towards the line, or try to. 151, 184. Okay. I think it's beating the RSX, but just. There we go, that was sort of a little bit better attempt to that corner, but not by much. This really is crap. It's just, there's no real way around the fact that this thing is just utter garbage. Let's not go utter garbage into a sign. That would be very stupid. The actual straight line speed, once the sort of wheels stop spinning themselves silly, isn't bad. I mean, at the end of the day, the power to weight ratio in this is actually quite good. It's just got a huge amount of issue getting that power out of the engine and onto the tarmac, and also do that without spinning all of the potential away. Brakes are pretty good as well, I'll give it that. You know, it is a 2013, that's sort of stuff you'd expect, but, you know, have to take life's little victories here and there when you're driving something as stupid as this Renault Clio. There we go. Come down here. Alright. Prepare for the switchblade. And the switchblade has killed the Clio, finally. Unfortunately, it hasn't killed it entirely, but it killed its momentum. So I think our 151, 184 is probably going to be the standing time for this car. That being said, I don't think this lap was going to be any quicker, particularly. If I had to guess, it probably... If it was to go quicker, it would have set like a 150.9 or something like that. It was not. This was not bound to be quick. It was not bound to be good. It was bound to be crap. Which it was. So, yeah. Not a good driving car. Again, I haven't driven one of these stock. Maybe it's really good stock, but in terms of this with the turbo rally and fully upgraded, nah. Just don't bother. Walk. Take a peel. Actually, no, don't take the peel. It is better than the peel, but, you know. Take a Transit or a Unimog. It'll probably be easier. Anyways, a 151, 184 for the Clio is going to put it into 40th place. It just about beats the Acura RSX, beats the TVL Speed 12 benchmark, that was stock by the way. Beats the Nismo Sentra by about a second, which is good enough. Lose out slightly to the Morris Turbo Traveller and the Dale type, and of course the Civic RS. My recommendation is to avoid this one massively, but yeah, I mean, if anything it was unique, I will give it that, but this is not a good driving car. It's not one I recommend. It's not something I wish upon my greatest enemy. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching this edition of Car Showdown, who hope you've enjoyed. As always, if you'd like to request cars for this series, you can do so down below in the comment section. Alternatively, you can join my Discord server link in the description below, and post your cars in the request chat, which is the best way to do it, as it allows me to keep everything in one concise place, but, you know, you can do it in the comment section if you like. With that all being said and done, thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a farewell.